A lot has happened in the past week in Canadian politics. Personally, I'm reached a point where I'm extremely frustrated. It all started a little over a year ago when I learned that the government spent $10 million building a barn or a garage. Then I started paying attention to what actually was going on in the committees. And then, committee after committee, the Liberals are stonewalling every single question, every single answer every step of the way. And it's been really hard getting the actual facts because all the media seems to be biased. Obviously, the CBC that are paid by our taxpayers' money, and seeing them in committee giving themselves bonuses equivalent of the number of jobs that they cut. So you're doing such a good job, you're making CBC a little bit of revenue, and as a reward, we're going to cut your job so that I can give myself a raise. The execs at CBC just revolt me. But the scandals doesn't end there. 2 weeks ago, CTV got caught with their pants down. They made a deep fake video of Pierre Poilievre, coincidentally just before a non-confidence vote, the day before. And again, two regular employees that probably followed the instructions from their executive bosses. They did what they were told to do and they get fired for it. Now, come on, this just scratches the surface. There is no way this kind of video can go on live network without some executives or some people overseeing what's actually in the video. So it's becoming harder and harder to find news that is not biased. And here I will do a shout out to Northern Perspective because ever since I started paying attention to the committees and every whatnot, I've also been watching this channel. This little this little YouTube channel that has grown phenomenally over the summer. They are doing great work. I do encourage everybody to go and support their channel. Admits censorship laws that are creeping into our civil liberties. It's getting harder and harder to get the truth out there, folks. Now, there are many, many scandals plaguing the Liberal government. Minister Champagne, Minister Guilbeault, both individuals, not even to mention Randy, that, we're not even going to go there. These ministers are funneling taxpayers' money into their companies. Taxpayers' money going into supposedly government funded projects, but somehow the money ends up in companies that they own interests in. We're not just talking a couple of thousands, a couple of millions. No, it's in the billions, folks. If you're wondering why you're not getting pharma care or good dental plans, instead of seeing the federal government invest in the provincial jurisdictions of these programs, trying to make a parallel program and having double the amount of bureaucracy just makes me want to vomit. They are hiding and blocking every single document for it not to be released to the RCMP. Now, I'm very frustrated with the RCMP as well. Many, many, many decades ago, somebody overheard part of a discussion, told their friend that told their friend, and that friend decided to call the law enforcement and had me arrested. Yep, I was detained for 8 hours without questioning, without anything. Law enforcement asked me if they could have a look at my apartment, and I cooperated with them, hoping, I was told that I was going to meet a detective to explain what was going on. I was left in a cell for 8 hours, not even being questioned. When I got out, I had a court date. When I got home, all my cushions, all my mattresses, everything was just torn up. Called the police officer. Apparently, the person reported that I was going to kill somebody with a firearm. Hence, they were looking for a firearm and tore my whole apartment, everything to shreds. No proof, just hearsay from a telephone game. And yet here we have a clear paper trail, conflict of interests into the billions, not one single arrest. Nothing. It boggles my mind how there's two tier of justices in this country. We've always known that it was there, but the liberals are not even trying to hide it anymore. They just refuse to, hand over the proof. And apparently, since the beginning of time, law enforcement has no laws to deal with corruption. And in this past week, Parliament's been pretty much closed to any government business. So no laws, no bills, no nothing is getting done. And what does our Prime Minister try to do to try to make it work? Well, he doesn't. He just runs away. He's currently in France getting photo ops because this guy really likes people taking pictures of him. And when he comes back, don't be surprised that government's going to be prorogued up until the next election. During that time, there might be a leadership race. There might be all kinds of stuff going on in the Liberal Party. But basically, we're going to, as taxpayers' money, we're going to be paying their salaries, paying their pensions, and nothing is going to happen for a year. This kind of nonsense needs to stop, and I don't have any solutions to this. But I'm interested in knowing what you, the viewer, think about everything and anything. So let me know in the comments down below. I look forward to reading it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video.